everyone, welcome to our podcast, Rich in Love. I'm Jake Maddock, and of course joined by my lovely wife, Mrs. Maddock.
Hello!
Guys, I'm a relationship coach. I've successfully helped thousands of people attract their ideal partner. Today we're going to talk about navigating jealousy. Healthy versus unhealthy expressions of jealousy in a relationship. Dive into the roots of jealousy and how to address it constructively, and ways to prevent it from damaging your relationship. I encourage all you guys to comment below your stories. When did you feel jealous? What did you do about it? Contribute to the discussion. What's your thoughts on jealousy? I know it's a pretty big thing. And look, if you're really having struggles, go to my website, maddockcoach.com, book in a call. I'll help you.
Tell us a little bit about jealousy, Bubby, in relationships and whether it's unhealthy or whether it's healthy.
First thing to remember, guys, is jealousy is a normal human emotion.
How many human emotions are there?
76.
Oh, that's a lot.
We evolved with jealousy over hundreds of thousands of years, so we have it for a particular reason, to keep people together, right? Now, you want to be with someone at the same time who you have a shared compatibility and shared values with, so then it's
easier.
It's easier. It's quite hard to make your partner jealous because you're both on the same page.
Well, those are rules that people can implement.
Don't go out at night without your partner.
Are there exceptions to that rule?
Yeah. So when I say don't go out at night, I mean like don't go out clubbing at night time without your partner. Doing shots on the dance floor at 1 a.m. without your partner would be inappropriate. Taking your sister out to dinner, that's fine. Who cares? You know what I mean? It's about not doing things which could potentially cause damage to the relationship.
What you're saying is just don't put the relationship in jeopardy in any situation where it could cause repercussions or someone else to feel neglected or bad or jealous or anything like that.
Basically.
Yeah.
Bit of common sense in there. Different types of jealousy. You have a lot of people struggle with retroactive jealousy, which means you're jealous about someone's past before you're in the picture. Which is kind of stupid if you think about it. The key in not being overcome with retroactive jealousy is don't learn about their past in the first place. Don't ask them about their past. Don't talk about your past. No one wants to hear about your exes. Leave it in the past. Completely.
Past in the past. What about if it can't be left in the past, e.g. kids and stuff, and the person needs to know about a few things?
You just want to talk about it as sensibly as possible. So you don't want to talk about anything or tell your partner anything which you know is going to hurt their feelings.
How can someone realize whether they've got an unhealthy jealousy thing going or whether it's too crazy or not?
It's how crazy you feel.
Okay.
Basically. You feel like you're an absolute nutcase, you're going crazy.
It's like not set in reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your life's starting to fall apart. It's just all toxic stuff.
Right. So it's unhealthy if you're just pulling things from every which way, even though there's not factually any information about it.
Yeah, with your ideal partner, it should feel fairly easy and fairly organic and fairly smooth.
Can any of those situations involving jealousy cause any other negative repercussions in the relationship, do you think?
Yeah, for sure. So it can cause self-sabotage, more overthinking, more fear, that people drift apart in a relationship, lowers attraction. Ultimately, the relationship could end. So
if you're allowing a lot of jealousy into the relationship, it can sabotage the entire thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes I see jealousy which isn't romantic based with mama's boys, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So the son will always take the mum's side and say his wife is wrong, for example. So it causes a rift there, which is pretty stupid.
So how would you prevent that?
He needs to be a masculine man, and the masculine man puts his wife first. And his mother is a long way down the ladder.
Right. So it's just their perception of priority.
Correct.
On where the people sit.
Yeah, he's still being a little boy.
So you touched on how jealousy is one of the main human emotions that we have. Tell us a little bit about that and why you think people are afraid of allowing that emotion to come to light.
A lot of people, they try to be basically cool cats all the time. Yeah. They always have they want to have that mindset of, oh yeah, do whatever you want. It's all cool. No worries. Easy. I don't care. But they're crying on the inside. It's so stupid. Everyone's trying to have these PC type relationships where everything's okay. Oh, you want to go out with your friends and do shots? That's cool. Fine. No worries.
While you're home alone with a bucket of ice cream and a sad movie.
Do you think it's very common for people to think the jealous behavior is controlling behavior?
Yeah.
Because it's not really, is it?
Not really. If your partner seems like they're being jealous for some reason, you got to ask yourself, well, why? What am I doing to making this person feel jealous? Mm-hmm. And how can I mitigate some of that? And how can I change it? Your job is, if your partner tells you they're jealous about something, fix it.
I've probably felt jealous, but I've never said I'm jealous. So what other emotion can someone try and say that can relate to it? Does that make sense?
It does. I don't recommend talking about your feelings excessively. It's not really useful. Instead, you need to think about what the solution is and tell your partner the solution. Mm-hmm. So don't say, hey, you going out at nighttime partying and making me feel jealous and insecure, and I think you're a bad person. It's going to be ineffective. They're going to feel criticized. It's going to just turn into an argument.
So what's the best way to approach it?
I would say, nah, don't do that.
So just set a boundary?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
People talk about their feelings too much instead of going, okay, what do I actually want to achieve here? Let's just go after what I want.
We've done a boundary video too, haven't we?
We have.
Go check out our boundary video.
Don't sit around and talk about your feelings. A guy doesn't want to listen to it anyway. Okay, just tell him what you want.
So if a woman is talking to her partner wanting a result but communicating out of emotion, what is the man going to hear?
Oh, he's just going to hear blah, 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 you're a piece of shit, blah, 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 you're a bad person, blah, 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 you're the worst guy in the world. Just all criticisms.
So he's just going to feel criticized. And what happens if a person feels criticized?
Well, they'll shut down and start defending themselves inside their mind. It's a lose-lose.
So the best way to approach it is?
Using proper feminine communication.
Do you think trust comes into factor of jealousy? So if you have low trust in a person, you're going to experience more jealousy or be prone to it?
More or a total disconnect because you've let go of the relationship. But either way, I talk about trust as it's really a byproduct of doing all the right things.
Okay.
A lot of people talk about trust all the time. Trust really, if you do everything right, people are loyal anyway. If you do everything wrong, nobody's going to be loyal.
No.
So I don't really talk about loyalty and trust because it's just a byproduct of a good
What about
environment.
integrity?
Someone with low integrity won't want to stick to boundaries anyway because they won't see the world as right and wrong as much.
Right.
So they'll look for loopholes, shortcuts, just pieces of shit, basically. Your ideal partner will happily do your boundaries. You'll set a boundary with your partner and they'll be like, oh, yeah, sure, easy.
So what are the fundamentals of a relationship in that wise?
So chemistry, compatibility, X factor, and they can do the job. When you have good compatibility, integrity is just what you think's right. Mm. One person may think one thing's right. One person may think it's not right. But compatibility means you both think the same things are right and wrong, which is going to make it way easier. So everyone has the ability to be super evil or super amazing and good.
Can you do an evil face for me?
I have a very interesting rule that I do myself.
What is it?
I don't touch women who aren't my wife.
True.
At all.
You know what? And women find it super offensive.
Yeah, sometimes.
I love it. I absolutely adore it.
A girl trying to shake your hand at the gym like this. I don't touch girls. And I walked away. She was super offended.
I love it personally.
A lot of people are too friendly and too flirty.
You know what's so funny? When any of my family that's a woman come up to you and hug you, you're like...
I did the 10-year-old hug, like...
It's so funny. I would love to hear people's opinions on it. What other rule do you have?
Oh, some other controversial ones, which I do. I don't think boys and girls should be friends.
Actually, that comes into jealousy really well, actually.
I don't think boys and girls can be friends, for one.
Okay, why?
Just biologically, the way we are as mammals, like monkeys, you put two monkeys in a cage, they be fucking. I get a million messages a day. Oh, I fell in love with my best friend. My friend likes me. My friend has feelings for me. Blah, like 1,000 times a day. Boys and girls are terrible at being friends.
You put a male and a female into close proximity with nothing else, they're going to establish an emotional connection.
Yeah, it's super stupid. I have no desire to be friends with a girl. What are we going to go shoe shopping or something and go and drink coffee?
You You hate coffee and you hate shoe shopping with me.
Why would I do any of those things?
Thoughts on independence in relationships?
Even the Bible says this: marriage is when two people become one and you share one bed and one life together, right? So really, a marriage is you're really.
But what about
sharing
if
a
you're
life.
married and you sleep in 2 separate beds?
If your husband snores, you don't want to sleep in the same bed. That's what they made duct tape for.
Oh my lord. Don't take them out. Or a sleep apnea machine would work well.
A lot of people have trouble
Open up.
with the financial side of things, so they don't want to share money.
Where does that come from? I feel like that would come from like a possessive.
Fear, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two people become one bank account. You work as a team.
Touch on your bank account thing, because you say one bank account, but that's actually not what we teach.
What I teach in a marriage, you need to be transparent with your finances and transparent with everything that's happening in your life presently. Nobody just has one bank account. You're probably going to have at least 5, okay? One for bills, holidays, investments, kids, whatever. Like,
Sure, we have way more than 5.
yeah. So you have lots and lots of different ones, okay? Even have ones for each person in the relationship, so you can buy each other gifts and surprises and whatnot. But then you have all the shared ones, which is the majority of your income. So that's where the transparency is. So really, you're still working as one.
So usually what we teach, especially in the like when you're becoming that one unit, we usually go, all the money goes into one account and then it goes from there. It goes bills get paid first. So you transfer into bills and then you transfer into any other savings or holiday or whatever. And then whatever is left over is a mutual decision to either split and go into your separate, or split 3 ways, keep some in the joint and then separate.
Sure.
Just go from there. So together you're prioritizing living,
Yeah.
and then you have your own funds off that.
Couples who work as a team, financially, the chance of them breaking up goes down dramatically.
Because it takes away financial resentment.
It takes away financial independence as well. A lot of people don't want to talk about this, but in the 1800s, there's a real reason why couples didn't break up. Because they would die without one another. They were essential. The dairy farmer needed his wife, and she needed him, and they could not survive apart. So stop trying to be so hyper-independent. It's not effective. You want to achieve a 10 out of 10, need each other. A lot of people think needing each other is a toxic trait, and, oh, that's codependent. You're supposed to need your partner. It's a good thing. It's healthy.
Builds the love.
People are afraid to need someone because they're afraid they're going to get hurt, so they need to be hyper-independent and not get too close. It's the opposite of what a 10 out of 10 is.
You should get super close, like merge.
Yep.
What do you think if someone is being absolutely ludicrous and unbelievably silly with their requests?
Yeah. It's pretty rare. I don't see it too often, but if someone is seeming a bit over the top with their requests, and you're not sure how to handle it, sit down and talk to them about it so you can get a better understanding, because maybe there was some miscommunication in there.
Do you think it's better to let the parties kind of calm down a little bit before approaching that, or approach it like right when?
I like to approach it straight away,
Yeah.
but you can bring in a different emotion into it.
So pick the emotion that you're choosing going into the discussion.
Yeah, calmness, teamwork, respect. But then the other thing to remember is, even if you don't really get it, if you can do it, just do it.
How do you think you can support your partner if they are feeling a little bit more jealous than normal?
If people start to act a little bit crazy and you can tell they're sort of losing their mind a little bit, you need to push them to do social hobbies. So do social hobbies together. Human beings are very social creatures. The more time we spend in other groups of people, the better our mindset is and the less crazy we are. The more divided we are and the less time we spend with other humans, the more crazy we become. So
Like solitary confinement.
yeah. So if your partner's actually a bit crazy, maybe they're not spending enough time with other people, go and do a dual hobby together. So you spend time in other groups of people so you can see what normal feels like.
Get them back down to reality.
Yeah.
Do you think some people can, like if they're feeling a divide in the relationship, do you think they amp up whether they're feeling jealous or anything like that?
Yep. So it's a bit of a roller coaster effect. So the feel the relationship's not going so well, the jealousy and negative emotions will rise and rise and rise.
Then they'll start acting crazy.
Then as soon as it hits a certain level, then it drops off to nothing and they detach from the relationship.
And that's when it's over.
Usually. Yeah. Not impossible to get.
Unless they come to us.
Yeah. We'll fix you up.
Do you think there's any other common triggers?
Talking too much to co-workers of the opposite gender, people getting jealous of other people's social media.
How would you combat the social media?
You got to be in reality a little bit. So if your boyfriend is following 5,000 people on Instagram, some of them are going to be girls. It's not going to be 5,000 guys. That would be weird. Some of them are going to be girls. If he has the occasional girl on his feed, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. If he has 99% of his feed is just porn stars, that's obviously pretty bad. Okay. If there's someone on his feed you particularly don't want to be on there, just ask him to block that person, delete them, and he should say, yeah, sure, no worries. And he should do it straight away and it should be easy. But keep in reality. I think some girls are under the thought that he should have 0 girls on his social media. Millions. Some people have millions of followers. Like, it's going to be some girls in there. It's not a big deal. He shouldn't really be interacting with them though. But if you have a problem with any of them particularly, he should block them fairly easily just by asking. As I said before, what really exacerbates any of those things is if someone feels neglected in a relationship anyway. If the relationship's not going so well, you'll
Start
see
to create issues.
little issues will become very large. If a relationship's a 10 out of 10, your girlfriend's not going to care about your Instagram. She's not going to worry about it that much because your relationship's a 10 out of 10. She feels really loved and safe in the relationship, so it doesn't matter as much. If the relationship's a 6 out of 10, she's going to be on your ass about it.
Do you think there's like some women are just like absolute nuts and no matter where the relationship is, they're just going to have an issue with that stuff?
Yeah, sure. There's tons of toxic women out there. Any guys watching, if you meet a girl and she's just absolutely crazy and it's just ridiculous amount of work you got to put in to get her into a feminine energy, just ghost her. Just block her.
At the beginning, when a woman is not in their feminine energy, it will be a struggle at the beginning, but it should get easier over time the more she allows that.
Yeah, it should be doable.
100%.
Some women their walls are so high, they have such a bad mindset, it's just not going to happen. Just avoid those people. They're not ready for anything. How do you think people can take these negative emotions and turn them into positives for self-growth?
So if you're experiencing jealousy in a certain thing, like a lack of love, give yourself a positive affirmation on that. Create the opposite. Tell yourself the opposite.
So focus on what you want to achieve instead of what you want to avoid.
Correct.
A lot of people look for the negatives and look for red flags.
You got to be a green flag hunter,
Yeah.
not a red flag hunter.
No, that's true.
Because if you start fixating on all the negative things, what's going to show up?
More negative.
If you start focusing on all the positive things and retraining your brain to look for the silver linings, people that look for the positives in life will always, in whatever situation they're in, if it is a negative, they will always self-reflect. Afterwards, they'll always go, okay, no worries, I handled that the best that I can at this point, but now I'm going to reflect on it and go, how could I have done better? What could I have done differently? Where can I improve? It's just changing the way your brain perceives information that's coming at it. It's in the very beginning, it's a very difficult job and it takes a lot of energy. But once you get through it, it's very easy.
We hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I encourage you all to write in the comments what your thoughts, what your questions are. Write about when you've experienced jealousy, how did you overcome it, what did you do? Tell me all about it. And look, if you really have struggles, book in a free call, mattcoach.com, book in a free call with me. I want to help all you guys achieve a 10 out of 10.